Help me reach 2,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. When my wife stumbled into the house that night, I didn't recognize the woman I'd married. Her hair was messy, lipstick smeared, and she reeked of alcohol. The sound of her heels scraping the floor echoed through the hallway like an alarm I didn't want to hear. She barely looked at me as she dropped her purse, mumbled something about being too tired, and vanished into the bedroom. For years I had trusted her completely. Her name was Samantha, and to everyone around us, she was the perfect wife, charming, ambitious, loyal. But as I watched her crawl into bed that night, something inside me shifted. I wanted to believe this was just a bad night, but her half-torn dress and missing earring whispered otherwise. I sat in the living room for hours staring at the door, waiting for her to wake up and explain. My mind replayed every detail. How she said she was going out with her coworkers, how she ignored my texts after midnight, how her phone went dead. The silence between us grew heavier with every minute. By the time morning sunlight crept through the blinds, I was still awake. I heard the sheets rustle and her groan softly, hungover and disoriented. I walked into the room quietly, holding the small silver earring I'd found near the door. She blinked up at me, confused. "Why are you just standing there?" she asked, rubbing her eyes. I didn't answer right away. I placed the earring on the nightstand beside her and said, "This isn't yours." Her expression froze. Her lips parted slightly but no words came out. Then she glanced down, and her whole face went pale. Her dress was still half unbuttoned. The smell of cologne that wasn't mine lingered in the air, and she realized exactly what I already knew. She sat up, clutching the blanket around her. I don't remember anything," she stammered. "We were drinking, I must have." I cut her off. "You must have what, Samantha? Fallen onto someone else's bed by accident." Tears welled up in her eyes, but I felt nothing. I wasn't angry, not yet. I was empty. She reached out, but I stepped back. "Please just let me explain," she whispered. I stared at her, trying to find even a trace of the woman I'd loved. But all I saw was a stranger who had brought her shame home with her. That morning she froze, not because of what she remembered, but because she finally saw what she'd destroyed. She sat there on the bed, trembling, her hands covering her face as if hiding could erase what had happened. I wanted to say something, anything, but the words wouldn't come. Every breath I took felt heavy, poisoned by the truth that hung in the air. "I swear I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered between sobs. "It was just a mistake, a stupid night." I laughed under my breath, a bitter, hollow sound. "A mistake is forgetting our anniversary, Samantha. What you did." I stopped myself before the rage took over. "That's not a mistake. That's a choice." She looked up at me, her eyes swollen and red. "We've been so distant, Mark. You've been cold lately. I thought you didn't care anymore." That hit hard, but it wasn't enough to excuse betrayal. "So that's your reason?" I asked quietly. "You thought I didn't care, so you found someone who did, for one night?" Her lips trembled. She had no answer. And in that silence, I finally understood the difference between sadness and disappointment. Sadness fades, disappointment lingers. She tried to reach for me again, whispering my name like it still meant something. I stepped away. "Don't," I said sharply. "You don't get to touch me now." I walked into the kitchen trying to clear my head, but everything around me reminded me of her. The coffee mug she always used, the note she left on the fridge, the scent of her perfume. For years I'd built my life around her presence, and in one night she had turned it all into a lie. She followed me slowly, her voice trembling. "Mark, please." I was drunk. I wasn't thinking straight. I turned to face her. "Then tell me something, Samantha. If you weren't thinking straight, why did you hide your phone from me last night? Why did you delete the messages before you came home?" Her eyes widened. She didn't know I'd checked. The panic in her face told me everything. "You went through my phone?" she asked, trying to sound offended. "I went through the phone of my wife who came home smelling like another man," I replied coldly. "You tell me if that's wrong." She broke down completely then, sliding to the floor, crying uncontrollably. I wanted to walk out, but my legs wouldn't move. Somewhere deep down, part of me still hoped she'd give me a reason, something to hold on to. But there was nothing left to save. only silence and guilt filling the room like smoke after a fire. I stood there watching her cry, realizing that nothing she said could undo what had been done. The person I once shared dreams with was now just a reflection of regret. The longer I looked at her, the clearer it became. She wasn't sorry for betraying me. She was sorry for being caught. She wiped her tears, her voice shaking. "Can we please talk about this later? I can't even think right now." I shook my head. "No, Samantha. You had all night to think. You had a choice before you stepped into his arms, before you decided that your fun mattered more than our vows." Her eyes darted to the floor. Shame was written all over her face, but I couldn't feel pity anymore. I opened the closet and pulled out her suitcase. "You should go stay somewhere else for a while. Maybe that'll help you think clearly." She panicked, grabbing my arm. "Please don't do this. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk, I was stupid." I pulled my arm free. "If it didn't mean anything, why does it hurt so much?" She broke again, sobbing harder. "Mark, I love you. Please, don't end us like this." I looked at her, my heart breaking in ways I couldn't describe. "You ended us the moment you decided someone else was worth my place." I walked away, my chest burning with a mix of anger and grief. Later that night, I sat on the couch, staring at my wedding photo. The smile on our faces looked like a cruel joke now. I remembered all the times I defended her to my friends, all the times I'd ignored the late nights, the work trips, the unexplained silences. Maybe deep down I'd always known something was wrong. I just didn't want to believe it. The next morning, she packed her things quietly. There were no words left between us, just the sound of a zipper and the echo of goodbye. When she walked out the door, I didn't stop her. Weeks passed. The house felt emptier than ever, but strangely peaceful. One afternoon, I got an envelope in the mail. It was from her. Inside was a short note. "You didn't deserve what I did. I hope one day you find peace." I folded it once and set it on the counter. I didn't need her closure. I had already found mine. Because sometimes the moment someone betrays you is the moment you start finding yourself again. And when she woke up that morning and froze, she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at the truth. The truth that she had lost the man who would have forgiven anything, except betrayal.